talking for last few lectures regarding discrete Fourier transform, and we will try to complete it today. This discrete Fourier transform tries to give an alternate representation of the signal or a sequence. The sequence, which is x of n, which is a capital N point sequence, wherein each element of the sequence can be a two-dimensional number. What we look at is when we have a sequence of capital N points, you are now well conversant with looking it as a sequence of two-dimensional variable. Then merely by looking at the sequence you may get one feel, but only looking at the sequence itself may not give you the information which might be useful for us. Therefore, it is expected that irrespective of our ability to understand, you should maintain complete silence and try to attend very attentively. So we try to represent the same information in alternate form. As discrete Fourier transform is invertible, the complete information is preserved. So discrete Fourier transform components xk's tell us the weights of various components, and each of these components is a constant frequency component. I had already stated that you should behave in a disciplined manner irrespective of your ability to understand. So the transform domain information educates us on those aspects which are otherwise not available to us by looking at the sequence itself. To be more precise, no new information is developed by transform because it is invertible. Means no addition is taking place. Whatever is available, same thing is presented to you. For example, in some coding, you might write something in a conventional manner. That may not mean anything. But if you read the same thing vertically, then you may get some information. In a stand up, what nonsense you're talking about? Would you like that these kind of things should go on YouTube? Would you like to have a same nonsense picture to be there telecast worldwide? Camera is not in front of you, so you need not have your face down. Sit down. So now listen very carefully. An individual component in xk, when we transform xn, a sequence of say n points xk, then where n is equal to small n is equal to 0 to n minus 2 capital N minus 1, small k is also equal to 0 to capital N minus 1, it varies in the range. So for a particular k, a particular component in xk Means xk is what we can say, it's that way a vector. Vector in the sense that it consists of capital N points. Each of the point is two-dimensional. Small x is also a vector which also has got capital N points. Each of the points is two-dimensional. Then to this we have a concept of Wn. What this Wn indicates us? This Wn indicates us one, it should be very much clear that Wn is a particular point on the unit circle in a two-dimensional plane. Wn is a particular point on the unit circle in a two-dimensional plane. Then we have got a concept of Wn raised to k. Wn raised to k. So Wn raised to k provides us a rotating phasor when I further rotate it, or to be more precise, Wn raised to minus k, and when I further rotate it with n, I further rotate it with n. Means let us take a practical example. So we are interested now in Wn raised to minus k raised to n, how it works. So let us take an example of 8, n is equal to 8. So W8 is a point on the unit circle, is this point, W8. This point is W8, right? Now we are defining W8 raised to minus k. W8 raised to minus k means that would be one important position, for corresponding k. K can be between 0 to 7 now. K can be between 0 to 7. So if we shall take k other than 0 for time being. So if k is equal to 1, then W8 raised to minus 1. W8, what is W8? W8 is equal to e raised to minus z 2 pi by 8. That is e raised to minus z pi by 4. That is this. So W8 raised to minus 1. W8 raised to minus 1 is equal to e raised to z pi by 4. That is equal to this. This is W8 raised to minus 1. Right? This is W8 raised to minus 2. This is W8 raised to minus 3. W8 raised to minus 4. W8 raised to minus 5. W8 raised to minus 6. W8 raised to minus 7. And W8 raised to k equal to 0. So minus 0 is that way meaningless. So W8 raised to 0. W8 raised to minus 1 till W8 raised to minus 7. These are the positions. Now, when this is further raised by n, what that corresponds to? That corresponds to a rotating phasor vis-a-vis n. Means for n, how the phasor rotates when n moves. So W8 raised to minus k can be considered to be the discrete angular speed of the phasor. Wn raised to minus k is discrete angular speed of the phasor. So for n equal to, when n advances by 1, the angle travelled by the phasor would be w8 raised to minus k. Obviously, when k is equal to 0, the angular speed happens to be 0. Angular speed happens to be 0. Since there is one important feature of angular speed is that the moment at which I complete the angle 2 pi, it is as good as I have not travelled at all. The moment at which I complete the angle 2 pi, there can be two statements. One will say that I have travelled an angle 2 pi, another will say you have not travelled at all, and both may be true in their respective references. Therefore, the maximum speed would be of angle pi. Why? Because if speed is more than pi, in that case, actually maximum speed can be 2 pi. If the speed is more than pi, in that case, what will happen? It is actually reverse speed of 2 pi minus that actual speed. Means if I say omega is a speed, omega as an angular speed, in that case, if omega is omega is 0, okay, alright. Omega rising means phasor rotating with fast speed. Omega going to pi means phasor rotating at maximum speed. Omega becoming more than pi means the speed is such that it is as good as a reverse speed. This comes because of the concept of what we can say that a rotation of 2 pi is as good as no rotation. A rotation of 2 pi is as good as no rotation, and this is not true for angular speed in general. These laws are, what I am talking is not correct for angular speed which you might have seen in physics. There is no such thing, but here we are having discrete things. As we are having discrete things, these discussions are valid. Then this xn I consider to be comprised of x0n till x7n, with each of these subsequences I am able to write that some fixed thing, that is actually xk, where k varies from 0 to 7, into wn raised to minus k raised to n. So what I am successful in, sorry, I should have used the word what we are successful in. Now we are successful in describing xn, which can be any sequence, as a combination of well-defined sequences. Xn can be any sequence. You can have any value for any n. x0 can be anything, x1 can be anything, x2 can be anything, x7 can be anything. All these 8 values can be any two-dimensional quantities. Means there was 8 degrees of freedom. There was 8 degrees of freedom. When I was looking at xn as a whole, I was having an 8 degrees of freedom, wherein every component, every point, every element can be anything. Now, what I am trying to do, I am trying, see, a, a sequence of 8 degrees of freedom can be represented as a sum of such sequences which look well defined, but in each of them you are having 1 degree of freedom. So x0, so x0n in this case, this is a subscript for that, so this would be 0 and this would be 0. For x1n, x1n is next subsequence. So what x1n is? x1 into wn raised to minus k raised to n. So what I am successful in? I am successful in representing a subsequence which is some constant into another constant raised to n. Subsequence is now well defined. One constant into another constant raised to n. And this constant is also having unique magnitude because it's point of unit circle. And in this case, what will happen with this? In this case, this is a peculiar signal in the sense, sequence in the sense that this being 0, this entire will be 1. So x0n is x0n, what it will be? It would be having all values same. It will have all 8 values same. So it is called as DC component. x0n is a DC component in the signal. What I am trying to make it out now, xn I am writing as summation of 8 point sequences, again to be very much precise. xn, merely by raising tone, it cannot be guaranteed that the understanding can be penetrated, but by rising tone, at least one can ensure that the attention means, even though penetration of understanding cannot be ensured by raising tone and voice, the means it is not what we can say, any kind of positive effect it can't have, but it can be a deterrent for a fellow who is or whose attention is getting diverted. So that can be prevented. Raising of tone and voice by a teacher acts as a deterrent for the diverting attention of a mischievous individual. I would like to again clarify that xn is how many point sequence? 8 point sequence. It is represented as summation of 8 individual 8 point sequences. So each of these 8 are individually 8 point sequences and they have got a unique feature with them. So x0n is a sequence which doesn't vary at all. x0n is a sequence which doesn't vary at all. And that represents the DC value. And every element in x0n, what it would be? What x0n is, straight away, every element in x0n is the average of, every element in x0n is the average of, actually DC value is something which was quoted by me in the flow of talk. Actually x0n consists of 8 points. Each of them can be two-dimensional. X0n is the average of all xn's. X0n is an 8-point sequence whose every point is same. And what that point is? That point is the average of x0 to x7. Are you getting me? x00 equal to x01 equal to x02 up to equal to x07. That is equal to average of x00 to x07. When the question of average of x00 to x07 comes, the word average is not so simple as which we would feel to be, because of the fact that x00 to x07, each of them are two-dimensional numbers. Then it would be, what that would represent? There are 8 points: x00, x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, x7. Then what x00 will represent? That would be a concept of center of gravity like, that is the average. The idea means we are trying our level best to make DFT as a brand for your class. So that brand for the class indicates, let us say, we have to clarify what is the average first. So now we are in 2D plane. So in a 2D plane, this is one point and this is the other point. So what the average would be? Average would be bisection of the line joining these 2 points. This is the average. Or to be more precise, one is here, one point is here, one point is here. And this is the average. Then if you take 3 points, how will you find the average? So, you have got various means by which you can very easily find. You can have x component take its average separately, y component take its average separately, and both these would be giving you the actual average. So, keep it in mind that xn is the movement xn, which is a sequence which represents movement of a point with respect to the sample number or index, or with respect to discretized time in a 2D plane. Xn is a discrete sequence of what? Xn is a discrete sequence of movement of a, you are studying movement of a point. Xn is a sequence of movement of a two-dimensional point in a plane with respect to discretized time. How it moves. And this movement of the point we are trying to represent in an alternative form. This means what we are trying to represent. We are trying to represent each point of xn to be comprised of sum of 8 points. Are you getting me? Xn, where n is an index from 0 to 7 right now, represents me movement of a point. wherein every individual value of x0, x1, x2 are the points. And when I look, what you are looking at? What you are looking at? And when we look at xn, looking at in x0, x1, x2, x3 up to x7 are individual points. When I say xn represents it collectively with respect to n. So when I state xn, it is the movement of the point with respect to the index n. Now, what I am trying to interpret this movement as? Each of these points, I am trying to represent it a summation of 8 points. Means x0, what I will try to do? x0 will be sum of what? x0 will everybody of you should write down. So that will give me an indication whether you are following at least something or otherwise. What is x0? x0 is the position of the sequence, position of the point at n equal to 0. So x0 is summation of what? x0 is summation of? Right, at least there is one fellow. Let me see whether others are there. Others need not first understand what he has said. So what is x0? x0 is summation of x00 plus 2 zeros up to x70. I think we have got a good point here. So which I will write in a neat place. x0, whether we have lost something?
No, sir.
x0 is a point, x1 is another point, x2 is the third point, and up to x7. Now we are trying to simplify the complex thing to such an extent that nobody will believe that the thing was complex. Whether in the teaching learning process, whether the complex thing should be simplified to such an extent or not is a school of thought. There are arguers on both sides. If complex things are explained to such an extent that those are made very simple, even though it's a good attempt of a teacher to clarify the ideas of the students, it has got a negative impact. What is the negative impact? The students do not think that complex things are there in the learning process, and it is also likely to hamper the process of self-interpretation. Let us try to measure the hampering due to this. So x0 is equal to x00 plus x10 plus x20